Hey everyone, it's me, Courtney from We Kids Get Fit, and today I'm going to be going over a game of health that I created. So here's my game, and this is all about sexual health. So down here we have our start, and up here we have our finish. The point of the game is to get through the game without, and have the least amount of risk cards at the end of the game. So as you can see, there's risky roads here, and there's less risky roads that have less risk spots. So when you start playing the game, you start by rolling the dice. The first person to roll the dice rolls, and then it goes in the circle, and the person with the highest roll gets to pick their character card first. So character cards are picked upside down, so you can't read the description of your character. So it's a 6-player game. The first person gets to pick their character card. I'm going to go over the character cards and what they mean. So the first character card is the risk taker. This means that you must test your luck and always take the risky road unless the person in front of you rolls a number 1. The second is the conservative. This person can never take the risky road unless the person before them rolls a 1. There's a moderate risk taker. They take the risky road every other time they come to a V. There's the free will, who gets to make their own decisions no matter what. There's the spontaneous. So if they roll an even number, they take the risky road. And if they roll an odd number, they don't take the risky road. And then there's the deliberate, who must talk out every decision that they make. And they have to ask one person their advice, but they don't have to take it. So when they come to a V in the road, they have to talk out their decision on why they took the risky road or why they didn't take the risky road. So everybody starts here. The person who picked their character card first gets to go first. So they roll their dice, and as you can see, you get to pick quite early whether you want to take the risky road or if you want to take the safe road. This continues until you get to the end, obviously. So if you land on a risk spot, you have to pull a risk card. These risk cards are full of different STDs, STIs, or pregnancies. So for example, the first one is genital herpes, and it tells you how you get genital herpes, some of the symptoms, and then it tells you whether you can share it or not. So one part of the game is if during a round somebody lands on the same space as you, you get to give them one of your risk cards, because that means that you just got into an interaction where you had unprotected sex and you just transferred one of your risk cards to them. So you just got rid of your risk card and they have a new one. Another example is syphilis. As I said, it has the way you get syphilis, the symptoms, and since syphilis may never appear, the symptoms, it says if you can slip this card into somebody else's risk card deck without them knowing, you can share this card. Otherwise, you have to keep it. So that just basically means that since you may never know you have syphilis, if you can give it to somebody else without them knowing, you can transfer it. If not, you have to hold on to the card. Another version of that is some of the HIV. When you get HIV card, you have to tell everybody that you have HIV because it is a permanent disease. You cannot get rid of this disease through medicine, so you have to tell everybody that you're playing with that you have the HIV card and that you will be holding on to it until the end of the game. There's also luck cards, which means that if you pull a risk card and it has luck on the back, you got lucky that time. So even though you took the risk, you were lucky enough not to get a punishment. So on the game board, there's also doctor spots. Doctor spots mean that you get to pull a doctor card. So these are the doctor cards Some of them you get to be cured from one risk card. Some of them you get to be cured from 2. And then there's one card that cures all of your risk cards up to that point in the game. So that means that if you have 3 risk cards and then you get the doctor card that cures you, you get to put all risk cards back in the deck. So these can really help you out, especially towards the end of the game. And that's why I put some of the doctor cards in really risky roads towards the end of the game, because it really can make or break the game. So like I said, this game, the point of it is to end up with the least amount of risk cards by the end. So some people, they have no choice but to take the risky roads, but like I said, they do have the option of getting some of the doctor cards to get rid of their risks. Also, if somebody lands on the same spot as them, they can transfer risks like that. So no matter what, you still have a way of winning. Your odds are just a little less, depending on which character card you get, which is a really big point in life, is the more risks that you take as a person, the more likely you're going to end up with a risk card or end up with a disease. And then on the game board, I also put some sexual health statistics on it so that it's also very, very informational. I know that the risk cards have the STDs and the STIs symptoms and how you get them, but I wanted to make sure that some people understood exactly how prevalent some of these diseases are, such as how HIV affects 1.1 million people, and only 1 in 7 they don't know they have it. So that means that they can transmit that to somebody else without them even knowing, which only makes the problem worse. So I hope you guys liked my game. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. And I can't wait for you to see my next bit of content. Thanks for watching.